let me say to you, when Billy was talking about this business about voter ID, let me tell you about something called the Code of Massachusetts Regulation. Are there any attorneys in the audience at all? Okay. Ask him about the Code of Massachusetts Regulation. When I'm Attorney General, I'm going to get involved in undoing a lot of things that have been done by the Democrats and the Liberals in the last 30 years. Okay? And under Chapter 30A, we're going to hold some hearings. And I'm not sure whether it's going to be $50,000 or $60,000 population, but we're going to say in these cities and towns that have, let's say, over 60,000 population, they must present an ID at the voting booth in order to vote. Now, in Belmont, we've got about 28,000 people, and every time I go to vote, the same people are there. They know us. If you go to Leominster, I don't know how many people in Leominster, probably 36,000, 37,000, I'm not sure. 40,000? By the way, I have a client right now in Leominster. I've been over in the Fitchburg District Court fighting with a judge for the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm at home here in Leominster. So that's the story for another time. So under the Code of Massachusetts Regulation, I might lose, but we're going to try it. We're going to say for any city or town that has, let's say, over 60,000 population, that city or town must have voter ID when you go down to vote. Little towns doesn't have to be. Now, let me get into the other side, my conservative social side. And I hope I don't offend anybody, but I am what I am. I can't change what I am. You know this business about handing out condoms that you read about down there, all right? When I'm Attorney General, that's going to stop. It's going to stop. And my friend, my brother attorney over there, the body of law that I'm going to use is the same body of law that they use when a youngster, for instance, needs a blood transfusion, and for religious purposes, the parents say no. When you go to court, and the courts have decided what's in the best interest of the child, that same body of law, I'm going to apply it. Had I been Attorney General, I would have supported, and I still will support Arizona in its defense against that idiocy that's going on in the federal government. I'm going to talk a little bit about waste and abuse and fraud in the Medicare, or what we call mass health, mass care, that sort of thing. My wife works in that system, and she's about to retire, quite frankly, because she just can't take it anymore. People are coming in with 3 or 4 Social Security numbers, different names, all right? It's horrible trying to keep track of what's going on. And yet these people keep coming to Massachusetts. As a former general counsel for the state's Department of Labor and Industries, using simply state labor laws. That's all we need. I don't have to deal with the federal government. I'm going to stop this unemployment. I strike that. I'm going to stop this employment of illegal immigrants dead in its tracks using simply state labor law that I enforced when I was general counsel at the Department of Labor and Industries. It's really easy to do. And tomorrow I'm going to spend some time over with the Worcester Tea Party group, and we're going to talk about this illegal immigration and what I'm going to do as Attorney General. I can do it. I know how to do it. And it isn't a matter of putting employers out of business. I'm not about that. If you read my website, as your Attorney General, I'm interested in what can I do for business in Massachusetts to better the business community of Massachusetts, because we want to employ people. We want to put people to work. I'm interested in jobs. As Attorney General with my Code of Massachusetts Regulation, I can do a lot. For instance, I grew up in the construction industry. My father was a stonemason and a bricklayer. I went to MIT, my brother Johnny went to MIT, my brother Benny went to Harvard, my sister Angie went to Harvard. We came from the old country. We worked our fanny off. My brother dug graves, right, to pay his way through Harvard. I dug ditches with pick and shovel to pay my way through MIT. We borrowed the money, we paid every penny back with interest, and I'm a hell of a lot better off for it. And it's about time that some of these people learn that in America, you go with your hand like this to give, not with your hand like this to take. Let me conclude with this. If you look at my website, it says the eagle has landed. Who remembers where that came from? Oh, you gotta go back some more.
World War II.
There it is, sir. Where was it? Yes? What was it on the 6th of June, 1944? Okay. And do you remember who said, we shall get, well, now I'm going to switch it, but you're right. It was the code word. Remember, the eagle has landed, the invasion has started. Who said, we shall gain the inevitable victory, so help us God?
FDR, wasn't it?
Who was it? FDR. When did he say it?
Just before the invasion.
No. December 8th, 1941. If you see my literature, at the end it says, we shall gain the inevitable victory. But I need your help to do it. I grew up, as I said, in the construction industry. If you read my website, right now, the unemployment rate in construction is over 20% in Massachusetts. Construction is the third biggest industry in Massachusetts. If you think about the number of people who work related to the construction industry, and I'll make it very simple for you. Just a plain carpenter, if you will, or a millwright. In order for him to do his work, somebody's got to harvest a tree, somebody has got to mill the wood, somebody's got to transport the wood, somebody's got to erect the wood, cut it, and everything else. One simple example of how many people are employed in the construction industry. Multiply that 1,000 times by plumbers, electricians. Who's going to, all the electric, the bus work, buses, all that stuff. All in the construction industry. These people are out of work in Massachusetts. We're going to put them back to work, and I, as Attorney General, I can do it. I'm not beholden to anybody.
But you know what?
Yes, sir. What?